Welcome, everyone, to A Certain Point Askew, the only Star Wars podcast that lures Mike Laybourne in with the promises of winning a Darksaber, and he gets nothing. I am one of your hosts, Jason the Angry Ginger, or the Jedi guy, the note says, broadcasting live from inside of the very own Wookiee Poo Studios, but unfortunately, I'm not alone, so I'm going to introduce your favorite wretched scum, scoundrels, and smugglers. Up first is my neighbor from Corellia, neighbor Cole.
Hello.
Well, hello. That was very kind and sweet. You're like the Mr. Rogers of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. I'm a very pleasant neighbor.
Won't you be my neighbor? I am.
I traveled over here on a hyperspace lane.
How'd it work?
Very good.
Was there shit blowing up like
Nope.
the High Republic?
No High Republic
Spent 14
accidents.
chapters explaining it.
No gravity.
Tom Clancy Star Wars novel.
No gravity wells that tore my aging Starcruiser apart and created a bunch of missiles to hit some sort of indigenous planet.
Yeah, get all the Jedis out there and block the bulkheads.
They sure do. They did a good job. Thank you for having me down, Jason. I appreciate your hospitality.
Thank you for coming down here.
Thank you for extending the invite to Wookiee Poo Studios that doubles as Monkey Poo Studios.
We're good for the show. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Yeah, well, we're not alone. Thank you, everyone, and you're welcome. Because
Are you here?
We need a third person to come in from the hyperspace lanes.
We do need someone to like bring this show to the next level, man.
To rein us in and tell us to stop being so stupid all the time. He's known as Darth Mathias, but he's also known as the world's best impersonator. Like Michael Winslow of the Star Wars universe. Coming in hot. Hey, Matt. How you doing, buddy?
I would like to see the baby.
Oh, that's an old poll.
It is an old poll. I was thinking about him, and I think it'll come up later when we get into where the Bad Batch ends up.
Uh-huh.
But I really miss Werner Herzog. He was such a great character. I hope we get to see him again.
Agreed. Just the voice alone. Do you know who he's talking about?
The child, right?
client?
Doesn't he say the child?
Yeah, I was wondering if it was the baby or the child.
Oh, he says the baby because then
Okay.
they're like, he's sleeping, and he's like, we will all be quiet.
We will not make any noises.
That scene really captured your imagination.
Anyway, good to be here, guys. Just a quick reminder for folks, if you want to find any of our stuff, it's not to a certain point of skew or just a certain point of skew. It's actually from a certain point of skew.com.
Listen, smartass, there was a reason why I started that intro over again, so that could be edited
Well,
out.
you messed it up the second time, too, but Matt also knows.
Did I?
It's all right.
We did.
Yeah, it's
we
okay.
both did.
I told you I was off.
It's fine. You're doing great.
Listen, 34 episodes in, do you regret doing this show?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
If you could do anything over, would you?
I mean, there's some things I changed, but other than that, no.
The co-hosts.
Like, in order to change the timeline of his life, he just would have never had to do a podcast ever. So he never met me, which met us, which did this show.
Oh, that started the whole thing. It's a butterfly effect.
He puts his spreadsheet together and lists number one and number two is Mike 1 and Mike 2. Items of things that need to change.
It just sits over here. I look at it while I record with you guys.
Dual screen action.
You can also find us on Twitter at FACPApod. You can email the show, facpapod@gmail.com. And we always forget to give out our personal Twitter handles. I am at ReasonsR. Cole?
At Neighbor Cole. That's NEIGHBOR Cole. Jason?
God, there's so many I could give away. But let's just go with S7EVEN, Days of Geek.
All right.
That's us.
Okay, so we've given the show particulars away. So what's going to happen today on this show? That's the big question of the minute here. And I'm going to tell you, we got a question of the week coming up. We're going to give you a little hint. Magenta Squadron.
Ew.
Hold on to your panties.
Hold on to your Crayolas.
We got a bunch of stuff in the news. We got the Galactic Starcruiser. Kenobi filming Dunzo. And when is Mando Season 3 and Ahsoka coming? See, I said that right.
Good
Damn
job.
it. Bad Batch, episodes 15 through 16 is what we're going to be covering. The Return of Kamino and Kamino Lost.
Lots of Caminos. Mm-hmm. We won't, suffice to say, we won't have to have the conundrum of Camonians going on much longer.
Okay, truth be told, I'm reading something today, and it said how to say it right. And even in my head, I could not I'm like looking at the word, and I started laughing. I was like, well, it won't come out. Like my tongue is like.
It's like they like make it spell
Camonian,
phonetically.
Right? Camonian.
Yep.
Camonian.
Keep going.
Camonian.
That's what I said.
Kaminoan.
Kaminoan. And I want to say Kaminoan. That's Kaminonian.
Kaminonian.
Yes. So from now on, because I've got to butcher everything, it's Kaminonian.
Okay.
I can't wait until Wikipedia has a page on us. Like, do not listen to this podcast.
Poor pronunciation podcast. Triple P.
We got a few other things that's going to happen in the show after we discuss the last two episodes of the season. We got the Maul bag. We've got 3 emails in there. There's going to be some shit talking, assure you. We've got a giveaway today. We got a big giveaway. If this is what you're listening for, we've been promising for like months now that we're going to give away something. What are we giving away, guys?
We are giving away a lovely Maul Hilt brought to us from Darth Flamingus, and it is sitting at the feet of Baby Yoda right now, just over your right shoulder. And
that's right.
She's a beaut.
Very, very nice patina on that bad lad.
I hope Mike Laybourne wins a coffee mug.
Yeah, there are a couple consolation prizes.
Oh, you know what? If he does, I will spring for this. I'll spring. I'm going to take a picture of the Darth Maul Hilt, and I'm going to put that picture on the coffee mug, and I'm going to send it to him.
No, I got a better idea. I'll fill the mug with some sort of substance.
Oh, God.
And it's not going to be.
Still have my picture on it.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be liquid nitrogen. I promise.
It'll be one of those mugs that when he pours the coffee in, the hilt shows up, and then it disappears when he drinks it.
As he drinks it,
he's always reminded.
It's like invisible ink. It's going to say open with a hammer, and it's going to be frozen liquid nitrogen.
Oh.
Blow his hand up. Just kidding, Mike. We really do love you.
Well, he's like the Baby Yoda of the show, so we'll just send him a bunch of eggs to eat. They should be good by the
He's
time
like
they
the
get
Baby
to him.
Yoda, and I'm Jason Sudeikis as a stormtrooper. Just punch in the bag.
All right, so here we are, guys. Let's be serious. All right,
Please.
We're 7 minutes into this show, and it's been a shit show, and I want to know, what is the question of the week?
Matt, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, sure. You are a hotshot rookie rebel pilot, and you have landed your first assignment with the Rebellion. You are the squadron leader of the Magenta Squadron. Going to ask Cole later how he came up with that one. Tasked with protecting and escorting a cargo freighter loaded with precious kyber crystals to the forest moons of Endor. The Ewoks have learned to manufacture lightsabers on the black market.
I like this twist.
Sneaky Ewoks.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have 2 wingmen to handpick as Magenta 2 and 3. Who do you pick? Fun twist, you can pick both sides, Alliance and Empire, or just bounty hunters, apparently.
I got to tell you, Cole, when you wrote this, man, reading this, it really blew my hair back when it said fun twist.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better.
Oh, shit, he didn't.
I was like, wow.
Guys, anyone from the universe is up for grabs. Like, totally.
So he's got on here Han Solo, Biggs, Wedge Antilles, Chewbacca, Anakin Skywalker, and Darth Vader, which made me question, is he saying before and after Mustafar is a different level of pilot, or does he not know that that's the same guy?
Well, I'm not Courtney. I should have put Ben Solo on here, and then Darth.
You think Ben Solo's going to be in this one? Like, no one gets that joke. It's unfortunate.
I totally just fucking couldn't pull his name now when he's the evil. The guy.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Jesus, I do not
It
deserve
happens
to
to
be
me all
on
the
this
time.
show. Yeah.
Jack Porkins, R2-D2, Poe Dameron, Harrison Dula, Plo Koon, Boba Fett, Din Djarin. Of course, if you wanted to throw in somebody else, you could, but those are the lists. That's the list that Cole provided. Great question.
Yeah. So who wants to take a shot at this first, Jay? I mean, you can't count Porkins as 2. He's only 1.
I can go first if you want.
Matt wants to go first.
Well, I'll go first and give Jay a minute because I read this in advance because that's what I do. Well, first of all, where did you come up with the magenta? Just pick that one randomly? Were you literally looking at a box of crayons?
I was thinking either cyan.
Like
Cyan.
That
Cyan.
car truck crossover box looking thing?
I had 3 ideas here. I had either cyan. I can't say that word. Cyan.
That Cyan
Oh.
Squadron is a tongue twister.
That's a good one though. We're the Cyan Squadron. Like cyanide almost.
It's not.
Okay, so I get excited about other things than you apparently. Cyan, magenta,
I mean, you must have been a real good boy to get a box of crayons when you were a kid.
I was thinking taupe, maybe taupe Squadron,
Okay.
or maybe Mother of Pearl Squadron.
Oh, I like that.
I was thinking like offshoot colors,
Okay.
things that Red Squadron's been done, Gold Squadron's been done, fucking Green Squadron, Blue Squadron. They're no longer with us. Thank you very much.
Rest in peace.
May they rest in pieces. So I
You
just went with
you
magenta.
want some unique color. I get it. That makes sense.
And then I felt like if I went magenta, it would spark him to think of Magneto. And then next thing you know, we got fucking superheroes on the show, and I can finally live out my dream of killing him not live on air.
Just do it. Well, I'm not picking Wedge because I'm still mad about him bogging out on Luke in A New Hope, so he's out. I really don't feel like Poe can be trusted. He's kind of a wild card. So I went Hera and Boba. Those are my 2.
Oh, I thought you would take Plo Koon for sure. That's what I was thinking.
Plo Koon's a good one, but I don't know.
He's supposed to be one of the best.
Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I know.
You pick him then.
I'm going to go with Din Djarin, our friendly neighborhood Mandalorian, because that dude could fly, that ship falls apart more than anything. And he's
True.
just like, fuck it, let's go, let's do this. So he's always going to be. I mean, the ship could be falling apart. I see Din Djarin in just a seat, and everything's drifting away in space, and he's still just hitting the fucking missile button.
I got this.
Did you call him Din Djarin in the? Well, you don't even call him by his vessel name. It's the ship from Mandalore.
Yeah,
because you can't call it Slave One.
No, that's Razor Crest.
Oh,
Boba Fett Slave One.
I fucked that one up too.
But the Razor Crest is no longer here. Who else would I pick? I think you know what? Let's go with. I mean, supposedly Anakin Skywalker is supposed to be the greatest fighter pilot that's ever been. He's supposed to be the greatest of anything. But wouldn't Luke be better? I mean, he destroyed the Darth
the Darth Star.
The Darth Star. The Darth Star.
Darth Star.
Look, people, I've been up. I've been on a long work schedule. It's been a long day. Just be happy I'm fucking here. That's who I'm going with.
So I was thinking, I forgot one major fucking pilot, Trapper Wolf.
Oh, I
forgot about
because
it.
I lied. I did read this earlier, and Trapper Wolf was in my head, and I forgot I read it until we got down to the names, and I was like, Trapper Wolf's not in here.
I'd like to see
It's a
him.
great pick.
What do you think about a pilot or unpiloted, like just R2 only? Maybe R2 only. Like he can do autopilot, right? You think he's got any
Yes, he can.
skills to do?
I mean, he's like the Mandalorian of droids. I mean, how many times has he been zapped, shocked, blown up, and whatever else? He's just like keeps on going.
What about R2 in the back with AZ in the cockpit?
Oh, AZ's the fucking man.
I like it.
I don't know how he is as a pilot, but he's a great droid.
He's a good hovercraft or whatever, jet ski.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say Wolf Trapper, then also Jack Porkins, because they're kind of like the same guy. And then like what? Afterward, you guys go to Buffalo Wild Wings and just get the fucking all you can eat, or what? How's that work?
Old Country Buffet, please. Just all have a cheat day, one big cheat day across the galaxy.
Hey, we
That's
just
a good
blew up
idea.
shit. Let's go.
There's 3 X-wings in the Golden Corral parking lot.
Crate Dragon's on me. Crate Dragon meat's on me,
There you go.
boys. Who likes some medium rare?
All right, let's go to the news. First up is we have talked about the Galactic Starcruiser before, and we talked a long time ago about going and celebrating our 100th episode there.
Yep.
Although we kind of thought, I think at the time we knew it would be pricey, but we didn't have the full details of just how pricey that was going to be.
Right.
And they came out with some numbers. This was, I think, from the week prior. And holy fuck. So these are the prices. This is a 2-night stay, which is that's the stay. You can't do more or less. $4,800 for 2 adults, $5,300 for 2 adults and 1 child, or $6,000 for 3 adults and 1 child, which I thought was an interesting combo. What does that mean? Why do you have 3 adults and 1 child? Is that a nanny? Is that like the fun uncle? What the fuck's going on there?
That is weird.
They
Or
like
maybe
to-
it's like you have a kid that's over 12 years old, and
They
they're going to
consider him
charge
an
you for
adult?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I bet you.
If ever in my life I had my children lie about their ages to get into somewhere, it would be during this.
Yeah, like my son's going to have a beard when we go, and I'm like, he's under 12.
11 and 9 months, sir.
I just thought it was odd it wasn't 2 adults and 2 kids. Weird. They also have what they said is a Galaxy class suite and a Grand Captain suite, which I'm sure are going to be like double the cost. And God only knows what you get with that. I hope it's an escort.
Oh,
You're like, nah, no, girl. I'm up in the
okay. Question of the week.
I'm up in the Galaxy suite.
If you got to pick what race of escort you get.
Haven't we kind of had this question before? Don't we
Yeah,
always
I-
end up
yeah.
with Twi'lek or something like that?
Yeah. Or whatever her face was, the sexy, dark, fucking.
Asajj Ventress.
That's her.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You got to think for her.
yeah. You would go there because you know she wants
I like the
hit
way
me.
I like the way she uses that dual saber.
Very flexible. Yeah.
Very flexible.
Yeah, she's limber.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very strong hands. You get with that room. Don't worry, because you get 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, and a quick service meal. But extra, any like drinks you're going to get beyond that, extra cost.
Yep.
I mean, this is a fucking gigantic ripoff. I couldn't believe the
It
details.
is. I mean,
on
they're
that thing.
treating this like you actually are going for a ride on a galactic cruiser.
And with all those meals, what are the kids gonna eat? You know. I'm on vacation. I'm fucking going.
Yeah, this is true.
Bring a bag of Cheerios. There you
Oh,
go,
man.
kid.
Got the hot pockets ready for you.
Like, how do you think
Coming from across the galaxy?
How do you think the ventilation is this Galactic Starcruiser? Because I've been in a room with you, and holy shit!
Oh no. Can we get separate rooms? Yes, that'll be $5,000.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine getting into an argument with like the staff because like you're one person that wants a room? Like, well, that's not on here. We can't
Yeah,
do that.
Can't do that. Like you had to bring a dummy with you. Or like a fake, like a robot. Oh God.
I was in the Galactic Starcruiser carpool lane.
Well, exactly. Bring it in. Or, the other thing I was thinking about is, what if you are dating a gal and you take her to this as like, hey, I'm going to really, because, that's what you should do, really show off by taking her to Disneyland, Galactic Starcruiser, and then she dumps you shortly after. I mean,
you're going from the second base to third base, my friend, if you're taking her to this, right? Like,
well, but what if she drops you
right?
the second you get back or you're done? I feel like that's grounds for a legal case.
If you're like Cole, you call them and tell them you owe me half.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I have done that.
I mean, that's almost like giving him a fucking engagement ring and being like, okay, I think I need the ring back then.
It really is. And why are they not doing marriages? Like, I wanted to just throw that in the package. For $12,000, you can get married on the Galactic Cruiser by Yoda.
Who would you have marry you? Who would you guys have officiate you? That's question of the week.
Yoda would be way too confusing. That would drive me crazy.
Marry her, you will.
Exactly.
Nice.
Thank you.
I guess not only Matt can pull the impressions.
I try to not bring it to the show because that's his game.
You don't want to show him
Yeah, yeah. I'd have Wrecker marry me.
Oh God, he'd be excited.
Yeah, he would.
Did you see the sample schedule that I threw in there?
I did.
I hope this is just like, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want. These are just the options you have every 5 minutes to do something.
I believe it is. This is like the itinerary, right? Because you can go to your room and just hang out if you want.
I would hope so. Because yeah, sorry, sir.
You can't.
You need to report to Sabak lessons. I don't know where you are. They come to your room and knock on the door.
Yeah, it's 2 stormtroopers.
Sir, we have you down for muster at 1600. What is muster?
They've got that fucking twirly fucking shocker.
Yeah.
Works.
I show up.
Sabak at 3 p.m.
I show up with 2 pretzels. I'm here for the mustard.
Yeah.
No, it's muster, sir.
Sorry,
God,
I don't
you're
read too
fat.
good.
Look, for $6,000, we would be there early at every event. My kids would enjoy this whether they wanted to or not.
Yeah, I mean, like the second day, breakfast starts at 7 a.m. I'm not getting up at 7 a.m. on my first day of vacation or second day of vacation. It just seems so packed. And it was like the gaps between one thing to the next was 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, Jesus, do you have time to breathe? But I assume these are all the things you could do. Because if I want to just go hang out at the Sublight Lounge and get drunk, then I should be able to do that for 3 hours. But I don't know.
Like
sometimes they move you along, like at the canteen at Disneyland. You have I think it's like an hour or something, and then you're gone. Like they just do these like windows, because otherwise people would sit in there, I guess, all day and squat.
Move along.
Not a bad idea.
Move along.
Move along.
You're part of the show.
What if they just like in blocks throughout the day just start showing the movies? Like that's what you paid $6,000 for. Okay, here we're gonna do Rise of Skywalker.
Is it the enhanced one or is it the original theatrical release? Because
extended version? Okay, you got me. I'll sit.
Every hour, it's just that's why they kick you out, because they just throw like the Death Star on loop blowing up again, and then you're like, what's his face, Timothy Olyphant, just sitting in the bar when he watches it happen in The Mandalorian.
Oh right, yep.
Like you celebrate. It blew up again.
See, that would be cooler for sure. What if you go with your girlfriend, and I'm real worried about this girlfriend thing, and she finds some Twi'lek dude and can't resist that bulging forehead, and then you get dumped mid trip. Then what the fuck do you do?
Is this where like a lot of your insecurities came from?
Yes.
Before you were
had a lot of bad vacations, guys.
I feel like you just, for both men
don't
and
even
women,
ask about what happened on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Okay?
Twi'leks are a hall
fuck.
pass.
I almost
There you
threw
go.
up.
You don't have to break up.
They got such bad teeth though.
That's true. You don't want to kiss them.
Not the women. I thought the women's teeth were good. No,
Maybe.
the men have the
maybe the sharp teeth is like an initiation thing. Like they're not born with it. It's like a gang thing.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll look into it. 60%.
We'll look into it. All right. I think that's enough of that. Let's move on. Kenobi wrapping up filming. So this I saw was reported by the Bespin Bulletin, and a bunch of others were speculating about it, that Kenobi's basically done.
Yep.
A bunch of the supporting actors are already moving on to other projects. And so it seems like they're basically all, I mean, I guess they started in April, so we're at 4+ months now, which is about how long it took, I think, to do a season of The Mandalorians. That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's 6 episodes. So we're looking at probably close to 6 hours of Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows when they'll throw in some pickup shots or something, but
I always thought that Andor was going to be released before Kenobi. Andor's still filming, I believe. So
yeah,
it must be, maybe Kenobi's going to come first. And maybe Kenobi is the first thing we see after Book of Boba. It's still a tight turnaround.
That's true. Yeah, because if that's done and Mando season 3 is just starting, so yeah, we're probably going to see Book of Boba, then Kenobi, then Mando, and then Andor.
Or maybe Andor, then Mando. Because Andor's already well underway.
Man, they need to stop fucking holding that back.
I know. Give us some release dates for fuck's sake. Well, moving on to Mando. It was interesting because there were so many rumors about, like, when is it being filmed? And Pedro Pascal said a while ago, it's not being filmed yet. Some people said it was. Giancarlo Esposito came out and said that they were about to start. And then he even made that comment. His quote was something about, because Pedro Pascal is also currently filming Last of Us, which is like a year commitment.
Mm-hmm. And he has a first, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's basically a first rights deal. So HBO gets him first no matter what from now on.
Okay.
So he can only, when he's not being used for that show, he can go film his Mandalorian thing. So my guess is, I mean, he's in the helmet almost all the time anyways, right?
Yeah,
so he's going to go over, he's probably going to do voiceover work like he did in season 1.
Right.
And then, whenever the helmet's removed, they'll do all those pickup shots last.
Yep. That makes sense. Because Giancarlo said, we never have to wait on Pedro. That was his quote. So they must be doing a lot of under the helmet shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carl Weather just came out in a thing today and said, we're filming within the next month. So that shit's getting underway.
I thought that maybe that's it. I thought that I read that they had started. Like they were already in the volume working on stuff.
They
maybe
might be
pre-production.
I mean, that's the other thing is the volume availability. I mean, it's like,
right.
Because it's, Ahsoka's also coming up soon as well. You would think that because, I mean, Filoni's been working on those scripts since like late last year. So you'd think that would be coming soon as well. So it's almost like they have to queue them all up. And I don't know how much Marvel shows are getting in there and using that also. It's like, boy, do we need like 6 volumes? Because we got a lot of shows lined up and only one volume really to film it in LA.
Well, we have 4. Or there'll be 4 total. There's 2 in California.
Are there 2 there?
1 in Atlanta. Well, there's going to be a second one.
Okay.
1 in Atlanta and 1 in Australia. And are they building one at Pinewood Studios too? I think in London.
That makes a lot of sense.
You look at me like I fucking know.
Or maybe you retain knowledge. We've talked about this before.
A lot.
It's true. Okay.
It's the last thing on my fucking list. I'm so tired right now. But that's like you look at me like I'm fucking keeping track how many volumes are out there right now. That's
we said 4 and you're over there going, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just being agreeable.
I'm just trying to be nice. Keep the show running, moving forward.
All right.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, let's perk him back up. Let's get to the Bad Batch. Let's jump into that shit.
All right, shit happens in both episodes, so we're gonna move on. Cole's tired.
Let's get away the hilt.
Yeah.
Wrap this fucking shit.
Mike Laybourne.
You lose.
Get ready to lose.
I'm coming for you.
We can get into where things stand like at the end. But on the heels of what I thought was one of the best, if not the best episodes of the season in War Mantle, I really fucking loved that episode. I was real jacked up for these last 2 episodes, and I thought the return to Kamino had a lot of cool stuff. But the last episode, I was kind of a little disappointed. I was like, this is all we're going to do is just get out of here? That's it?
Yep.
I was a little bit disappointed. What did you guys think?
The fucking convenience factor of how this, like, oh, we ended up in our old barracks. Oops. Oh, we ended up right on top of the tunnel, the one way out of here. Oops.
It was a lot of character work is what it was. And for like a season finale, you kind of expect something a little bit bigger than, oh no, the base is, submerged and we need to get out of here. Like maybe I watched it again and it played better the second time.
Yes.
But I really like when they get to Nala Say's her little area where she did the Bad Batch and then Omega, I was like, oh, we're gonna learn something here. Yeah. It's just like, oh no. I mean, you basically learn she's older than them.
Yep.
Moving on.
And what is Tipoca City? Is that what I thought Kamino was just the planet. Is it Kamino the planet and then Tipoca City is just the fucking the mushrooms coming out of the water?
Yes, and I don't know how you're not saying tapioca. I was assuming one of you guys would do that.
I was going to make the cheap, easy joke, but I wanted to show you how good my pronunciation skills are.
Good job. Well played.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, it is. I didn't know that was the name of the city offhand. So when she said it at first, I was like, is that the same? Is that the main one? And then I realized that it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's apparently like a little underground tunnel, which I thought was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah, well, let's go into the episodes.
Yeah,
I got done with it. I really liked the build up for the second to last one, and then the last one I was just kind of like, okay. Like there were some moments, but otherwise I was kind of like, damn it, I kind of wanted a little bit more than that. And I know you can't give me Luke and R2 in every finale of every show you do and all that kind of stuff. I just thought there was going to be a little bit more excitement.
Could you imagine that if the X-Wing flew down there and
picked it up?
Whole time Cole's like, hey, I didn't expect this.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
I'll be the last one to put that together. I'm expecting like
It's not a robe. It's just like one of those bath towels that you put over the kid's head. You know.
it's got a hood, built-in hood.
R2 just drags him around. R2's got a Bjorn. So Return to Kamino opens with Hunter in a cell, which when he was in the cell to end, I think we thought they were still on that Darrow planet, but now they're on the move, and essentially Crosshair's like trying to lure back the batch to follow him. And I like how he's like, they're not gonna fall for that, and he's like, they'll come, because he knows. And this is all building up to the guilt trip he's about to lay on Hunter.
Right. Well, Omega, they cut to the. Like he activates his comm to draw him in, then they're like they take a 20-second. We got to fix the Marauder type of
right. It was a quick fix.
Quick fix, and Omega like just so that you could see Omega being like restless, right? We got to get over there. We got to save him. And then they just drop Gregor off with Sid, right?
I
like,
love that.
He's like,
no,
you're babysitting.
I don't think either of them were happy about that arrangement. Did you hear, by the way, when they show Crosshair land with Hunter? Did you hear the music in Kamino?
I guess I didn't know.
It was the episode 2 Kamino music. It was from the movie.
Oh,
this is the same exact music that they plays when Obi-Wan Kenobi comes into Kamino. It's kind of cool, a little tie in there.
Oh, okay. That is. I love it. They keep doing that. Like if you pay attention, there's little threads throughout this series.
Yes. Well, when they land, the that one trooper tells Rampart, like, I'm not so sure about Crosshair. Like, I think I don't know if we can trust him. So she had good instincts on that one.
Right.
And he's basically like, well, whatever. He'll fucking die with the rest of them. He doesn't give a shit.
That's
Rampart's
pretty much the
cold-blooded,
plan.
man.
Yeah, he is.
Admiral Rampart, man.
He's going to go places in the Empire.
He is. Or he's going to get killed quickly.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, that's like a little prequel to like Crosshair and Hunter are having it out, like bantering back and forth, and Crosshair thinks he's too important to be phased out with the rest of the clones, right?
He's kind of
I'm one of the good ones.
He lays that down like pretty heavily throughout these 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
The Empire, they can't deal without the strength and the importance of them and all this, and and then the end is, oh yeah, they can.
It's a cross between that and him just, like I said before, like laying that guilt trip on Hunter. I mean, there's a lot of major quotes in here from Crosshair. Like he says at one point, he's talking to his troopers and he said, they don't leave their own behind. Pause. Most of the time. And Hunter's like, we didn't have a choice. He's like, I did? Ooh, like fucking, it got real catty. But then that tunnel, like you said, was cool that they find where they land, and she takes that tunnel over. That was pretty wicked. I thought that was a cool visual, the way that thing came up. Even Wrecker was like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, what's with us? She's like, she gets emo on the trip down. Like they're flying through the tunnel, and she's just like,
because he promised her she'd never go back there again.
Is that what that was?
And then she has to go back for Hunter. Yeah,
that's a good read. I was trying to figure out exactly why she was so solemn. If it was more about the fact that she was going back to this lab where she just brings back bad memories, but I think that part of that is what you just said. I think it's the fact that she's like, God damn it, I'm back here again.
Yeah.
So she was basically alive when they did the genetic mutations to the Bad Batch, Batch 99. Right?
Correct.
So she was watching it. Have either of you guys? So this is kind of a weird tie-in. It might be a reach, but have you guys either of you read like Ender's Game or Ender's Shadow?
No.
That series.
I think I read Ender's Game, but I don't remember it at all.
Okay. Well, there's this. There's like it kind of reminded me like a tie-in to. There's this scientific lab. So this would be more towards the end where Nalisay ends up, but they do these experiments on these babies where they like make them super fucking smart, like they're geniuses or whatever, like enhance their brains, but their bodies like outgrow them. So it was just like it was kind of like a weird. I got that weird vibe to them. They end up turning into like monstrous freaks. Like their bodies catch up after a while.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they only live to be 18 years old.
Like I'm wondering how this whole program works. Like if she's like, how old would we say Omega is?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Does she have some sort of thing that slows her aging, so she's different than them, or is it just that she didn't get the enhanced aging at all and she's just growing as a normal human would? I couldn't figure that out.
How would she remember being there?
Unless she was just a child. But even then, like,
told her.
What was she, like 10 years maybe? You know, these guys have been running around the galaxy just destroying shit, and they're that experienced and aged, and they've lived a life in 10 years. You know, it's
well, then maybe she's slowed even more. Maybe she's older than we think. You know what I mean? Maybe she's fucking
Yeah.
25 years old, but she just looks like she's 12. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if they're Bad Batch 99, they were like one of the last ones made, and the Clone Wars has only been going, So, yeah, I don't know how long the Bad Batch was made before this whole thing, the war happened, So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, some unanswered things for sure.
I like how she's explaining the whole thing about this is where you were created, all this stuff, and she's saying it, I was here. And Wrecker goes, is that all true? Tech goes, how could I possibly know that?
Yeah, I know. That's the one time.
He is
yeah.
my favorite, man. He is so fucking funny with his stuff.
It's like Matt and me just walking around. I ask him stupid questions all the time. Hey, Matt.
So then again, Hunter just keeps trying to convince Crosshair that the Empire is bad. He's not hearing it. So the batch follow to that room underneath the training room. And I love how their sneak attack plan is to just come up right in the middle of the goddamn room.
Yeah.
The great plan tech. I mean, with Hunter not there, their strategy just goes out the fucking window. And then I love how Wrecker's like, well, that didn't work or whatever. I guess you're wrong about that.
There's like a lot of like dualities at play too. Like this is like when we first meet them, they're in there.
Yep.
And now we see them, and this place is going to go down. So it kind of we see it there, it ends there.
Yeah. Oh, especially when you get to the end of this episode. It really brings that point home. Then they're surrounded by Crosshair and his crew, and he notices that Omega's not there, so he tells that one trooper, which is the one who was worried about him, to go find the kid. And then we get this great dialogue again between Hunter and Crosshair where he's, doing the whole, like, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead already kind of thing. But then he says, Hunter's talking about how, like, hey, we were just, being loyal, because he's questioning him why he didn't follow orders. He's like, well, we were loyal to each other. And that's when he says, and I wrote it down, you weren't loyal to me. I was one of you. You may have forgotten, but I haven't. That's why I'm going to give you what you never gave me, a chance. So I thought those moments were really great. Like the buildup of Crosshair as this kind of conflicted character and all this kind of thing, and Hunter trying to be the good. I just thought those were really well done.
Like they're showing two different perspectives of the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. And then he also tells Hunter to let Omega go. He's like, if you want her to be safe, let her go. Like you're only putting her in danger. So I thought it was a really cool way to kind of show Crosshair's thinking on the whole matter. And then he gets into the whole, we're superior. He gets back into the whole, they're going to need us. And he's like, we were brothers once. We can be brothers again. And that's when those troopers all kind of look around like,
Empire.
Wait a minute. What the fuck are you doing? Stand down. Nope. And then he shoots them all. That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, he really he sets up his little like reflector glasses, right? And I didn't what the hell was that at first? And then I looked in the mirror and was like, oh, he's gonna smoke these guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
They gone.
Did you guys notice the one trooper sounded just like Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Oh, I guess I didn't think of that voice. I always look up the voices. I can't remember who voiced that character. I don't think it was Cuba Gooding Jr.
I don't think so either, but he sounded just like him. I'm like, man, that sounds like Cuba. Crazy.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Anyway. So then Omega triggers all those bots. Way to go, Omega, thinking she's helping.
Yeah, like first gen Dark Troopers.
And shit just goes awry. But it was cool to see the Bad Batch come together and fight them off. Like it was cool to see them work together again. It was a tie back to the very beginning of the season, like you mentioned,
and
in that
much more faster this time. Yeah,
it was really sweet. I thought that was awesome. And then I guess that's when the one trooper escapes and is basically like, "Hey, Rampart, he's lost control." And he's like, "All right, come on back. We're gonna go blow the whole place up." Oh fuck! And then the Tarkin thing happens.
Yep, that Grand Admiral Tarkin comes out and he's like, "You may fire when ready." Right?
Exactly.
Yes, he was.
He does his little
straight
line.
up A New Hope thing. Yeah, because he just wanted to make sure Nala Se was secured. Hunter tells Crosshair, you're not yourself. It's the inhibitor chip. And that's when we get the big bomb dropped where he's like, I had that removed a long time ago. When? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but now if you're watching this, when they're during the skirmish, when he stands back up, the first thing he does
What's a skirmish?
is he gets in the fight with the robots, right?
Skirmish.
That's
a
what I said.
kerfuffle.
Yeah. So he grabs his head and holds it real quick. And then when Hunter goes over and checks him when he's knocked out before they get him, or no, after he gets knocked out and he puts on the backpack and they're going to get out of there, he checks the scarring on him. But you can't tell because he was in that other kerfuffle.
I think old girl checked him too. Omega checks him at one point in time.
Yeah. Like he's full of shit.
That's what I'm wondering.
Did you guys notice that the scar is like the exact shape of the Death Star? It's really weird.
I didn't notice
Interesting. He is the Death Star.
Well, so here's the thing.
The only way to take him down is to shoot one up his asshole.
You worry about the tower. I'll worry about those cannons.
But he says it. My first thought was bullshit. There's no way you're making that crap up. It didn't happen. So I read this interview with Jennifer Corbett, who's the head writer, and Brad Rao, I think is how you say his name, is the supervising director. And they basically say he's chips out. They say, yeah, I think we can say his chips out. If you're actually paying close attention during the season, you can kind of tell when his like mindset shifts just subtly. And that would be when it happened. And I'm thinking, so is this when he's on Braca and he gets toasted?
Right.
And that's when it comes out. And then that's why after that, he like never quite kills them. They're always just getting away. He's kind of pushing it, but not getting them. Is that the piece that we're supposed to believe? But why would the Empire take it out? What's their motivation for doing that? Because in the beginning they said, well, he's showing loyalty, but let's enhance the shit out of that thing. So why
they turn that fucker up to 11,
Right,
and then we've never seen anything since.
They scan his cat, right? They put him in there and fucking
scan his cat.
do the thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, so why do that and then now be like, you know what, he's probably good. I think he's shown enough loyalty. We're gonna just go ahead and let that chip be removed. Other than this is the only way to save his life, but even then they wouldn't give a fuck. He's a clone. They don't care.
Right. And they even say like, well, when did it happen? He goes, a long time ago.
Right.
And I was like, okay, thanks for lying to me again.
Yeah, I originally I was on board with you, Jay. I thought that he's full of shit. But reading that interview and like going over all the other stuff that's happened since, I just thought, I guess. So basically he's just running on his hatred and bitterness over being abandoned. And he's also clearly a guy who seems more at ease with order and like having, this military kind of structure. And so I don't think I think he looks at the Bad Batch and is like, you guys are running around like crazy people and like aren't well resourced and all these things. Like, don't you just want to work for the man and like have everything
he's lying to himself too, because he seems to think the Empire is going to give him everything.
He does, yes.
They're going to take over the universe, and he's going to be one of the higher ups that do it for them, and they're going to get everything they want. Come join me, and he quickly learns that he's
expendable,
taken down a couple of pegs.
He's institutionalized. He's like Brooks from Shawshank Redemption.
Okay,
Yeah. He's gonna carve into a beam. Crosshair was here.
He's gonna hang himself if they let him go out of the Empire.
Yeah. Permission to use the bathroom, sir? Yes, go whenever you want. Go whenever you want, Crosshairs.
At that point, we get
Kamino Lost.
I said shoot across your nose, not up it. They just blow that city to shit.
But those final scenes were so eerie because, as time was going by during these episodes, it was getting less and less foot traffic. And then all of a sudden it's just totally empty. And they just do those different shots of their barracks and the cafeteria and all these in the test tube areas or whatever, all these places that we've seen a million clones before. And now it's all gone. I thought it was a cool shot.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, and you get to see it all starting to go underwater,
lifeless,
submerged, and then the shots where like you saw the blaster fire from the Starcruisers going underwater and clipping the fucking pillars. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep. So so then I'm thinking, okay, well they've blown that shit up. So what are they gonna do in the second episode? Like, what is somebody unexpected going to save them? Like, or are they going to go off somewhere else to do something? I didn't think it was going to take the whole episode to get out of Kamino.
Well, and here's the thing: like, in a whole city, like on stilts above water.
What if it's only 3 foot deep, the water, and no one knew the whole time? It's like
just stand up,
men in men in tights. I can't swim, Robin.
Yeah. Stand up. Well, I mean, that's like if the whole city's above water, you think they got a closet full of scuba gear or something. Like nobody's like, let's go get a breathing apparatus.
Well, yeah, apparently either the structure is really well made or there's not a whole lot of like Superior crushing depth to it. Like as it goes and sinks. I think we're on the ocean floor.
That's a good question because when they jump in those medical capsules, I don't know that those are up for the pressure that is going to happen by being that deep in the ocean. I was also worried they might get the bends. But they made it.
Nope, they made it.
Must have exhaled on their way up.
Mm-hmm.
So they get separated because the fucking place is blown to hell, and most of the batch goes through. The doors close to block off the flooding, and then she ends up with Crosshair, of course, which you kind of knew. You're like, oh, of course, this is going to happen. Of course, they're going to end up together.
He's of course caught underneath the beam.
Her innocence is going to redeem him.
Yeah, he's knocked out cold too. I love how AZ they get him out, and then AZ says, "You have survived, but will drown momentarily."
Yeah,
he's the best.
He's the bearer of bad news. So she does the old save him. There's the flooding scene, right? Like he's getting caught underwater and he's gasping for his last breath, and she's trying to move the beam. Like, what movie is this from? Like, I kept getting flashbacks to something. Was it Titanic? No, it was.
The Titanic scene is later.
I'm thinking of there's Titanic scenes later. I'm thinking of White Squall, where there's a thing trapped in the door.
Okay.
Right?
Is that the one with all the boys that are on that with Jeff Bridges and shit?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. It's a good movie. Yeah,
right, check that out. Bring that to weekly watch party.
I think I've tried. That one, but no one wanted to watch it.
But like you said, they find their old barracks, and it's like, oh, cool. Tunnel's right there.
What do you know? Right.
Good deal.
So I like how to free him, she's just like desperately firing arrows at point blank range through the water, and it's like ping, ping, skipping off of the fucking.
She's a crack shot.
Yeah.
But like when they get to their barracks, that's when they have like another heart to heart, and then he's like basically telling Hunter, you're a shit leader.
Well, he's bitching.
You let him here, and they're gonna die.
Yes.
Like she just saved his ass, and then he's just fucking nonstop bitching. Like Crosshair's just a petulant child the whole episode, and he's like, "Oh, you're taking orders from the young one now." I'm like, "Bitch, she just saved your life."
Yeah.
Shut your fucking trap.
He's constantly mad about that. I went back and looked at something earlier in the season, and he's constantly bitching about the kid being in charge and all this stuff. Even back when they were together, before he went rogue. Well, not rogue. I guess went Empire. Then Wrecker says, "You never even tried to come back. We still would have had you." I love that line because Wrecker said something before, with like they found his gear on the ship and stuff. Like you could tell Wrecker missed him.
Yep.
Well, they had the little family meeting, right? They all got a little piece of the pie, because that's when Tech goes, "Understanding you doesn't mean I agree with you."
Yes.
Because Crosshairs is
why are you defending me?
Why are you defending me? When did you start picking up or sticking up for me?
Yep.
And he's like, "I just understand your nature," and he's like calculating. He's like the autistic one, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any like range on the spectrum. He's cold and calculating.
Yeah, they should have had this conversation as a family a long time ago, because clearly there's a lot of stuff that was building up, a lot of tension.
They need to go on Oprah all the while, like sit down, unmask.
My 5 dads.
You got Crosshair sitting over there by himself with the fucking Rampart, and then the rest of the 5.
Special guest Dr. Phil is going to be here.
And something we'll get to later a little bit too is I got to the end of this episode the first time I watched it, and I was like, was Echo even in this episode? He is just in the fucking background. Like he barely gets any action at all. And I thought that was odd, because of all the characters that they worked on over the season, I thought his character was developed the least. Now, granted, we knew him from before, but
you're right. And we talked about that, and the fact that like they went through all this trouble to make him part of the Bad Batch, right? Mm-hmm. And then like he sees Rex the one time, doesn't talk to him.
Yeah.
And then the progression keeps happening, all these characters, and he's just always kind of like in the background, like he's like Maybe like the guy who does all the voice work is just like, not another one.
Yeah,
today.
Not another one. I can't do it. I think I tweeted about that. What's his name? I forget his name. D. Bradley Baker. When I showed a video of him doing the voices of the different clones to my homies, they were like, "What the fuck? It's one guy." They couldn't believe it. But yeah, I just thought it was odd that they put him so low on the peg for everybody else. Considering they give so much airtime to everybody else. The only action you really get from Echo is when he tells Hunter, like, we got to go get Gregor, like that was his big moment of the last, kind of round out the season, but that was it. So yeah, they go down the tunnel and the fucking monster comes, and AZ, because he's a goddamn boss, goes flying up that chute and re-enables the electronics, and the thing comes on and the monster goes away. AZ is the fucking man. He's the hero of this episode by a mile.
Electrified gerbil tube. Turns that thing on.
I was thinking, how the hell are they going to climb that thing? Because that was a big drop when they came down. So they find a way.
I tell you, man, like we talked about AZ when we were watching the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Right. And now here we are. He's back, and I was like, they need a droid in the show. They need a droid. Why are they not taking this guy? They keep going back to Kamino, and he's just, nope, see you guys later. And now finally, they get their droid.
They had to have Gronk get fried when he was plugged in to the wall as a battery. Couldn't replace Gronk.
Yeah, but he was the guy who helped Fives. I mean, he's just a handy little droid. So I'm a big AZ fan.
He's got personality.
He does. So yeah, they realize then as they're going through, they get to the lab and they're like, well, the rest of the tunnel's blown to shit, so we're fucked now. So what are we gonna do?
Oh no. Tunnel's blown up.
And so yeah, they get these capsules, which I'm like,
that's AZ's idea too.
Is it AZ's idea?
Isn't it like we could put you in these capsules? Or
it's either him or Omega. I can't remember who said it.
Or I was gonna say Tech. I don't remember who it was.
But I love how they try to do. I'm like, why the fuck does Omega get her own? I know they're trying to balance, but at the same time, like, Wrecker's just a big ball and he gets his own.
They put 2 grown men in one, and then she gets her own.
It didn't make any sense.
Had to make room for the detonator.
Yeah. And then she gets it. When I'm watching, I was like, Why does she get to blow the shit up? Like, they give it to the, hey, kid, go ahead.
They could have gave it to Echo at least. Let him have something.
He couldn't do it. He had that hand. He'd be like,
he'd be pushing it, head in his mouth. He's punching it against the glass.
That would have been a good, like, he had it, and he's like, ting, 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 on the glass. He's like, I can't do it.
Turn around, guys.
This is why you don't talk, Echo.
Yeah, this is why you get no lines.
Done.
Puts it between his butt cheeks.
Unless we need a screwdriver, we don't give a shit about you. So yeah, but that shit starts floating up, and AZ is guiding them all up, doing a great job. And then the last one, of course, is Omega and gets hit by some debris and starts going down. So he goes down, welds that shit off, gets her going back up again, and then he like goes fucking limp, runs out of juice, and it's like Jack and the Titanic. There's your Titanic moment.
Yeah. Because he'd already been on backup power for a little bit here.
Two plot holes here. So he shoots down, and then uses all that power to cut through that thing with a weld. Why wouldn't he just go faster than the falling object and like push her? Yeah.
Maybe he couldn't. Yeah. Maybe he was at top gear.
Well, he just he was gaining on the object that was falling, right? Yeah. So he could have just continued to push it and then freed it up. And
the writers right now are like, will you just watch the show?
And then, like, you're dying off and you're like, so just die out, let your batteries drain, but just hold on to the capsule and you'll rise up with it.
That's what I thought was going on. I was like, well, maybe he's got a good grip. And then he just starts drifting away.
Stupid.
And then Omega, she just like, nobody dies on her watch.
Yeah.
No shit.
So then you get the scene where Crosshair is like, got a gun pointed to the back of Hunter's head. He's got his rifle pointed to the back of his head. And then, nope, just kidding. He shoots off into the water and uses the claw.
Because
claw!
I can see 200 feet through water.
Exactly. He's got that vision.
He's Crosshair, bro.
All right.
Careful. Exactly. Watch yourself.
Yeah, well, and then I love how it pulls up and he's holding his gun and he looks around and all the Bad Batch have their weapons drawn and he's like, fucking fine, take my gun back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Throws it over to Wrecker.
All pissed off.
Wrecker's like, ooh. Don't do it.
And then all of a sudden it's sunny on Kamino. Have we ever seen this before?
Ooh,
That's
point.
Really, yeah.
That's a good point.
I've never seen it that way. It's always been rainy. I wondered if maybe they just did that for the sake of the drama of showing that scene of Tapioca City like burning. They wanted to have, like, that moment.
The sun was behind the city the whole time.
Right.
And when it went into the ocean, it fucking knocked
Nature came back.
Came out of the way.
The whole time it was stormy because they just wanted to knock that city down.
Yeah.
And now finally, everything's back to its natural habitat.
It was nature's way of saying thank you for restoring us to our normal order.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Cleansing moment for the planet.
It was a sacrificial to the monster underneath. It just had to fucking feed it a city and he was good. He stopped underwater farting. That's where the waves were coming from.
So you see like Omega like standing on the landing pad and they're looking back forlornly over the city like, oh, that's my home. I never wanted to come back here, but now I've got homesickness and that's where I was raised type of a vibe.
Yeah.
But like, make up your fucking mind, girl. Are you coming? You going?
It's like Jenny throwing rocks at that house in Forrest Gump. Sometimes there just aren't enough rocks.
You can't help it, man. Sometimes nostalgia just hits you, She's finally back home and she's like, you know what? I wanted to be here. And then no more.
Sometimes she just doesn't have enough arrows.
There's a nostalgia factor for her. So,
So they like have their final little powwow with Crosshairs and then they leave him on the deck of the ship and he's left alone to ponder his decisions. So
they offer him one more, like, you can come with us or you can be with the Empire.
Empire for life, Wu-Tang.
Because they're like, scouting ships are going to be coming anytime now through the Empire. And he's like, I'll just stick around here. They're gonna want me back.
I want to hang out.
You'll see, Hunter.
I want to hang with the people that left me to die. But yeah, fuck you guys, my brothers.
It was a mistake. They didn't know. They thought it was already on the ship.
Empire comes out. He's like, "What? We thought you were in the John. Get over here, Crosshair.
Still got your gun, man. Still got your gun."
Someone's gonna be General Crosshairs real soon.
Was there a point where you're watching that last bit where you're thinking, "Are they gonna just end this right now? Like, is this gonna be it? And they're not gonna even give us some sort of taste or tease that sends us on to the next season? That's it. We're just gonna have the doc and that's it."
I was like, "Fuck a second season." I was seriously.
I was gonna get upset about that.
And then they redeemed themselves, and this is why I finally get to fucking. Ooh, I'm so excited.
I was strangely comfortable with it.
I think you know more about this than I do. I wrote down some notes on this because I did not know all this stuff. But the final scene is Nalaste landing at Mount Tantus, which is on the planet Wayland.
Yes, but it's I don't know if that is.
It's not confirmed.
Well, it is in canon because I think they've talked about it in one of the video games.
Okay.
But it's from the book.
Yeah,
so,
it's from Heir to the Empire.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So
And
more on that in just a second. But she
Mm-hmm.
meets this scientist who is rocking the same exact garb and logo as Dr. Pershing, our buddy from Mandalorian. And she says the Empire has big things planned for you. And so that's where I thought maybe we'll get to see Werner Herzog again. Maybe he'll show up.
See, I was getting a Rogue One vibe from the scientist from Rogue One.
Same thing.
Okay, same outfit.
Thank you.
I
Just similar. The Imperial scientists, like they're the group.
And it made me think we could get Werner Herzog in animation. How great would that be?
Yeah, but he's not Imperial, is he? Or is he just and now he's just like this this mover and shaker in the underground community.
He had a lot of Beskar steel.
That doesn't make him Imperial, though.
Right, but I'm just saying. So that doesn't give us any
we don't really know his whole
clue
his
to
whole
his
history.
whereabouts.
I just thought it'd be funny to see him in that voice in animation. It'd be so fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, you really got a Werner Herzog
I do. I got a chubby friend.
fix.
So let me see if I get this right, Jay, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. So, and if I get this wrong, to anybody else out there listening, I apologize. But what I found was, and some of this I got from our buddy Ty at the Wayfinder podcast as well. Mount Tantus was, like you said, it was from the expanded universe in Heir of the Empire, which was part of the Timothy Zahn Thrawn trilogy.
And this is why it most likely is, because the stuff they seem to be pulling the most from is Timothy Zahn. And he's still writing Thrawn books. He's still, so like this is it's all, and we know, I'm excited here. We know that they're fans of this book. And I think it's leading to this.
And what it described it as is it's like where Palps housed a bunch of like Sith artifacts and shit like that. And then it also served as a cloning facility.
Yes.
Palps made a clone of a Jedi, and I don't know if I can say this right, called the Jedi's name was Joruus Sabaoth. Are you familiar with this name?
Yeah, as a kid it was always Seaboeth, but I think it's Sabaoth.
Sabaoth, yeah. And so he makes a clone of him with two U's. So it's Joruus.
Yes. Well, they also make a Luke Skywalker.
Exactly. That's what happens next. They find the hand from fucking Bespin and use that to, because remember when there was the whole rumor that they were gonna have the hand was gonna be the beginning of Force Awakens?
Yes.
So he makes a fake Luke, and this also ties into Thrawn because of the fact that Thrawn and Joruus like teamed up, and then I think Joruus crossed him or something, so he like had him imprisoned in Mount Tantus or something like that. That's what I read.
So right? the clone's kind of nutsos, but he's based off of the original Joruus. Worked for Thrawn previously, or no, didn't work for him. He was a Jedi, but they came into contact when there was like this mission. They were going way out into the outer realms, right? So it's another story aside from the Heir to the Empire that all takes place. But in Heir to the Empire, he's just this loony fucking Jedi. Okay, and he at some point he ends up there. And I think the place is guarded by like dark Jedis and stuff. So maybe they'll use Inquisitors. I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do and what they're going to use or change or whatever, like in my speculation mind. But if this is leading to that, I don't know if they'll do the Jedi thing. But my idea is like, why not bring in some? Because right now we don't have any. Right? We have Luke running around in a couple of years from now or whatever. But they need to like start showing there's still some that survived or something. So why not? If there's a couple there, or they're cloning them, they could bring in that story. But if Thrawn is going to use this all ties into one. They're bringing Thrawn there. He was already in the animation. Yep. We know Ahsoka's looking for him. There's rumors he's been cast, so he's going to show up. And I think he's going to be like the sort of the big bad they mention a lot, or you might see him a little bit. But like we've got Moff Gideon, that's probably going to be the big bad for a little bit. We've got things, so it'll lead to like the future stuff, I think. But
well, it makes you think that Thrawn's going to show up in both animation and live action in some way, or at least be alluded to, because they're really tying him heavily into all these series.
Well, and they could do two things. They could do some of Thrawn's story where he like clones an army and he tries taking over the New Republic and all this, but right now they're shattered. But also this all ties into Palps doing the cloning.
Absolutely.
And it'll tie into, so if they don't go with the Sabaoth or whatever, they can use like maybe that's how Snoke is, right? They can tie something in with that, and that tells that story.
Did you hear the music? I know I'm always about the music here, but did you hear the music at the very, very end of the episode? It was Rey's music.
Interesting.
It was a Taste of Ray's theme, which made me think. So they're like kind of implying that this is the cloning that's going to create the whatever Strandcaster. God damn, we got another kitty. There's the what do they call him, Strandcast or something that he creates, essentially like Snokes and different people like that. But that's who her dad ends up being, is one of these created clones.
Mm-hmm.
So this shit is all tying together.
Are you not about the cloning? Are you not excited?
I had no idea any of this existed. Like,
Okay.
I was just waiting. I'm learning.
I had to dig up some of the stuff because I was not aware of exactly how that tied in. That whole when I saw that place show up at the end of the show, I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's probably something. I had no idea.
This looks important.
Yes, exactly.
My prediction is this is they're starting to tie things together. And now, if they pull anything out of the story, right? If they cloned Luke Skywalker, this is how they bring in Sebastian Stan, and it's not the real Luke Skywalker. It's a clone Luke Skywalker, and then they can still sort of kind of tell the Heir of the Empire story, because we know that all of these shows are leading to some big event, right?
Yep.
So why not the event can lead to the Heir of the Empire movies, and we'll finally get our Luke Skywalker stories we never got.
Well, because the Heir to the Empire, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that when in part of that story that Luke basically faces his own clone, right?
Yeah, him and Leia.
Yes.
And Mara
right.
Jade. Mara Jade's like
Mara
big
Jade's
time.
in
Like
there.
whenever Thrawn is, there's Mara Jade. Mara Jade is there. So that's where Luke and Mara. Is Mara involved when they kill him?
When did you read these books?
Oh, geez.
These comics?
The first time I read them, was it 89, 90 when Heir of the Empire came out? I got it for
I think they
Christmas.
say it was 91.
And then 91, and then every year for Christmas, right around Christmas, I got the next book. It was Heir of the Empire. What was the second one? Something, and then The Last Command. Were the 3 books. And then I read them again. I don't know. I was like late 20s. I think I read them again.
Nice.
A lot of places they can go with. I mean, so when I was looking back on the season, and there's a couple more things I want to get to on kind of what's next, but because I was disappointed somewhat in the finale, I was thinking about, and also thinking about the fact that, they gave us all those goddamn Sid missions, which felt like a lot, and we just had to kind of weed through certain things. I started going back and like looking at all the stuff they gave us. They gave us some pretty sweet shit. Like the first episode, they show Order 66. We get to see young Kanan. We get to see Cad Bane show up. We get to see him fight Fennec Shand. We see Cutla Quain and Gregor again. We got to see Hera as, a younger girl, and we got to see that fucking Hauser and that sweet, sweet hair of his. So we got to see a lot of really cool shit. It's just that some of the stuff in the middle, or the way they, like the pacing on it sometimes was just kind of slow. I mean, in the end, I really wanted to see how the Empire was built, like how the early days of the Empire looked, and they're doing that. They're showing that.
Yes,
it's just it's going kind of slowly, and that's the difference.
I think even the slower episodes for this series has been far better than some of the arcs that we were stuck with in the Clone Wars. But this is it's kind of a bit more grown up, so maybe that's why it's holding my attention a little bit more. But it's been great. And also, like, don't forget, when the show opened up, it opened up as like it had the narration. It was kind of like the Clone Wars,
burn
right?
away.
And then the last thing we see is this go down. So this is the end of the Clone Wars, right? Like there's no possible nothing. So it's like a bookend. And also like a cool little tidbit is like the episode's called Kamino Lost, but it's always been lost. When Kenobi went to find it, it wasn't in the archives and anything, and he had to go like, oh, and there's the whole story about Dooku and what's his face that
So a double meaning.
Yeah, so double meaning. So like the title actually it's always been lost, but now it really is.
We also kind of got the big reveal. I mean, guess it's not a big reveal, but we were always like, are the stormtroopers and the clones the same, right?
Yeah.
In different armor? No, there's the TK class of troopers and the conscripts versus the highly trained clones. We don't really know what happened to the rest of the clones, other than they've been shipped off world, they said. Boxed up and shipped out.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're all going to go.
I feel like here's what's going to happen. They're all going to end up on a planet, right? It's just a clone planet.
They sent them all to Alderaan.
And that's the first time the Death Star's used. They blow them all up.
We got them all in one spot, boys.
Yep.
Got a special assignment for you guys called Baked Alive.
Operation Mike Laybourne.
Guys, you want to be paying attention to this. It's a great laser light show you're about to see. Oh, that's coming awful close.
Stand on this big X and don't look directly into the
You
sun.
don't even need to look up if you don't want to. Trust me, you're going to see it.
You're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Well, I had predicted before, and I'm sure others did too, that I thought that there was going to be some sort of clone uprising, which I didn't know if it would necessarily be started during the season or later. But one of the things that I read about in that same interview with those two, Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao, is they were asked about that, essentially like what is this setting up in season 2? And they said there will be ramifications for the Empire destroying Kamino. And that tells me that an uprising's coming, that the clones are going to say, that was our fucking home, and you blew it up, and you basically cast us aside. Fuck all y'all. Rex has got us rallied, and we're going to come after you now.
That was a question I had for you guys. Do you think that those incubator tubes were empty?
The ones that were in her lab?
Yeah, well, the ones that were going underwater, they looked empty, but do you think that there was just specimens in there? Like potential
I don't know. I thought they were
future
empty.
clones?
I might be wrong, but I thought they were empty.
Okay. I was just wondering. I looked at it, and it didn't really show super up close, but...
Killing clone babies?
Killing clone babies.
They gone.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood of the Empire.
Wow.
They couldn't row or wade.
We're going to move right along out of that.
Because of the water.
I'll let you guys collect yourselves.
Jesus Christ. Wow, that was probably one of your finest moments. That was nicely done, sir. Don't you dare edit that out, man.
In fact, episode title.
Oh, no. I don't know about that.
The Kamonians can't row or wade.
Like, we've been waiting to see more on Omega the whole season, like what exactly she is and all that. We got a little bit more at the end here, but we didn't get a ton. I mean, all we've really seen is she's got a lot of empathy, she's got a lot of intuition, she's good at strategy, but that's kind of it. And so...
She's still a Jedi.
She's older than her brothers.
Well, and how much is it tied into Boba? Will we see some Boba crossover stuff since they are both, from that same line?
Here's what I was thinking. What if in the Book of Boba Fett, there's just this episode where there's like this awesome woman, and we're now like, you don't find out till later that was Omega. Like they just introduced this character. He doesn't even know it's his sister or whatever, but that'd be kind of tricky.
She's gonna have the accent if she does, right?
Well, maybe she went to school and, well, like when you move locations as a kid, you pick up the accent of somewhere else. So
she moved to the Northeast and lost her
yeah.
accent. Well, it's like Hera. Hera had that kind of French accent, and that's gone by the time we get to Rebels.
Yep. See?
Good point.
You could lose
They
that
all went
shit.
to the same school Arnold went to.
Wash it out.
Werner Herzog went to lose his accent.
So the sad thing is, with the end of this series, now we just get to wait for Book of Boba, although we just got a trailer today for Visions.
Yeah, we did.
Which looks pretty sweet. Now, granted, I've always been a little hesitant on the anime stuff because it hasn't grabbed me as much as other stuff, other animation types does. But some of the stuff that they're presenting and some of the voices they have that are going to be involved in this looked pretty damn awesome.
What'd you think about them like cocking and loading their lightsabers with kyber crystals?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't watch it that closely.
No?
I didn't notice that part.
Like there's a couple of times where it shows them like
Had
drops
a real
it in.
Japanese samurai vibe right off the bat.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes. It's exactly what it is.
I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think there are 9 episodes. Is that what? And they all drop on the 22nd of September.
Ooh, the whole thing, huh?
The whole
I
load.
wonder if my consultant would be into this because he likes some anime.
Yeah.
My
Your daughter does.
yeah,
too.
she loves anime, so we
Your
might be able to get her to
consultant.
sit down and watch this one. Yeah.
Yeah, the list of the voice actors, it's like Lucy Liu, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bobby Moynihan, Neil Patrick Harris, Alison Brie, David Harbour, George Takei, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of names.
Yeah, that's some big names.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
David Harbour.
Unless you guys have anything else, I was just going to say for the listeners kind of wondering what we're going to do next for the show since this series is over, and that's been what we've primarily been doing. I think we're going to try to go back to like a weekly release, right, guys? And probably starting in September. And I think the way we're going to do it is we're going to do those like half-season reviews of Rebels. So we'll get together and record a full deal, but we'll release it weekly.
Don't tell them our secrets. They'll just be like, oh, wow, they're just really knocking them out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to peek behind the curtain there.
Yeah.
We'll have some guests on, and we'll cover Visions, we'll cover like trailers and shit like that, and then just regular news until we get to Book of Boba.
And then we're gonna be daily.
Oh man.
Well, we've got the gallery episode. When does that come out?
Oh right, that's next week. That's August 25th. So it's a week.
So we'll have
from...
that. We'll have Visions. We have a couple of new
Gallery
things.
for Bad Batch is coming out?
The gallery episode about getting Luke.
The finale of
From the
Mandalorian
Mandalorian.
season 2.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a whole episode on that.
Yep.
So that'll be cool. We'll cover that next time.
Cool.
You knew he was in that episode, right?
Yeah, of course.
Was he though?
Yeah.
Not really.
All right, let's get to the mall bag.
Let us.
Oh, yes.
Hello there.
You've got mail.
Okay. Email number 1 is from Ty from the Wayfinder Pod. If the current Star Wars show is called The Sad Batch, what would the names be of everyone on the crew? Now, I've taken a stab at this. If you guys would like me to start,
Yeah, I want you to because I mean,
it's hard to come up with.
yeah, let's hear yours.
So Hunter is now Prey.
Is he overly religious or is he just...
No, the other Prey.
Okay.
Echo is Silence. Wrecker is Meek. Tech is Reboot because everybody fucking hates a reboot. You know, it's so annoying. My computer's been freezing a lot lately. It just stuck in my mind. Crosshair is Blurry, and Omega is the Greek letter Psi, but it also works both ways because it's a song.
I thought you'd have been like Alpha versus Omega.
No, it's Psi, PSI, but she's sad. It's the Sad Batch, so she's sighing. Get it?
Oh, okay.
All these are sad names.
Were you in a fraternity?
No.
Oh, I don't know the Greek alphabet.
I'm putting my pink slip in.
Sorry. I'm here to answer questions. If you guys got any names, you fire them up.
I got as far as Cunter instead of Hunter.
Oh, there we go.
That's where I stopped.
Good start.
Wrecker is Pecker. Mine's the gay batch.
Those are different dads.
Yeah, those are different dads. So these are modeled after my father.
You're not going to want to come out of your room tonight. It's good.
Okay, well, we can move on to the next question. Then. Thanks.
Routinely killed that.
Email number 2 is from Luther, a.k.a. the Cheeto Bandito. Really enjoying the show, the insights, the banter, and for some reason, he's shocked by this, Cole has been fucking killing it with the comedic timing.
Hey-o.
The whole unkempt Sarlacc, the Bad Batch dried on his stomach, and the various other things he has thrown out the last few episodes have legit had me laughing out loud. So, are you Cheeto Bandito, Cole?
That's my pen name. It's like my Richard Bachman to the Stephen King.
He's come down here a couple times with some Cheetos on his fingers, and I've questioned.
Yeah, it's a burner email account. I don't know.
And whenever he says bye, it's always Bandito.
I put a Cheetos mask. I put a fucking Zorro mask on. We just have Cheetos dust everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Put it this way: if Luther wins the hilt and Cole just goes, "Yeah, I'll take that. I'll get it to him." And we know it's
I know his address. He DM'd me.
Looking forward to more Star Wars and geek talk from the three of you. Matt, keep the impressions coming, and Ginger, keep living your dream of podcasting because you're doing it right, my friend. Thank you, Luther.
Thank you, sir.
Mike Laybourne, you see that? That's how a fucking email is composed. Bud.
Right. Yeah. Compliments.
Like, talking about what we do right.
Actually shows he listens and cares. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned Mike, because the third one's from Mike. He says,
moving on.
Will the Book of Boba Fett be available as the ebook of Boba Fett and the audiobook of Boba Fett? He's trying to be clever here. I don't think so. I envision the Book of Boba Fett being more leather bound, maybe like an old text, possibly a scroll. Certainly not an audiobook, don't you think?
I agree. I definitely agree.
You can't get that.
What about like one of those pull it open scroll types, but it's a laser scroll, like you know, it's got the writing on
like
it.
A futuristic scroll.
Hologram.
Oh,
all right.
I like that.
Anything but an ebook. Yes.
Yes.
What is he trying to get at here?
He's trying to be funny.
Where am I missing?
Because it's
humor?
Book of Boba. So is there audio Book of Boba, e-book of Boba? Get it?
Different types of books. Okay. Condensed version, encyclopedia.
I hope we get the unabridged version of this email.
Oh, rude. He also says, will there be a follow-up cookbook of Boba Fett? I think this is a great idea and something that we should market.
I hope you win the gravy boat.
Well, I'm just thinking there's going to be an entire section on crate meat, Grogu eggs.
Oh, there definitely has to be.
I bet Boba's a big jerky guy. That's my hunch. He's always on the go. It's real easy. Take it with you.
He's already jerky.
He is. I get to see him
Just
chewing
look
on
at
that
him.
shit, like kind of gritting his teeth. I don't know. Anyway,
Every time he itches himself, you hear, "Oh yeah!"
He's a gold member. Oh, that's a keeper. He
Yeah.
pulls a little piece of skin.
Starts snacking on himself.
oh,
I've survived 36 weeks in the deepness, darkness of space on my own skin.
It's a little shotty. Been marinating in the Sarlacc pit.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your question.
Need some spices.
Apparently, Boba Fett is what's his name? Fucking Werner.
Werner
You
Herzog?
sound just like him now.
You bring me back in with that. You boil the potatoes. Again, that's not even Arnold. That's a different one there.
This sounds like a German cook from
Yeah.
World War II.
It's kind of like something like that. A little Nazi.
They boil the potatoes.
Papers, please. Okay. So this year or whatever, this show, we kind of limited how many entries you could do. We did like kind of a once a week thing.
Yep.
So, and also I had to remove a few people from eligibility.
Cheating.
Well, no, because there's, like Blue Leader won last time, so Blue Leader can't win 2 times in a row. Sorry, Blue Leader.
Okay.
And sorry, Kyle.
Okay. What about Rural Farm Boy? Is he in there?
He doesn't want to win those prizes, so I
Okay.
feel like I kind of have to remove him as well. So everybody else is in there.
He's a rural farm boy. He doesn't need possessions.
No.
He's a giver.
I mean, if he won it, I would have put it because it's got the ends. We could have thinned out a piece of wood a little bit and gave him like a really nice rake.
A 2-sided hoe.
There we go.
Or a sickle.
I mean, everyone needs a hoe.
Some people call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade.
So if you guys want to get the random number picker up,
I got it right here.
So, hey guys, if you're if this is your kind of humor, show up every week for 7 Days a Geek.
If you've made it this far.
nonstop. Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do third, second, first. Third gets a mug. Second
All right.
gets a shirt, and I'll follow up with you on that stuff. And then first gets the fucking hilt.
The hell.
Mike,
I'm
are you
excited.
nervous? Are you nervous,
I'm so
Mike?
excited.
I think Mike's sweating right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I randomly assign people into a little spreadsheet here. Imagine that.
I am
Spreadsheet.
shocked.
Woo!
And I am at a different location. This is all in the up and up. We have somebody
Yep.
here to verify the results of this.
I like how
done.
he's like. It looks like he's hiding something from us. Like he's got his hands down. Oh, he's got it on his phone. Okay.
I have my I Google Sheets on my phone because it's not. I couldn't get it up on this thing. I couldn't get it up.
Okay.
So you pick a random number, and this is third place. This is the winner of the mug.
1 million.
Give me the random numerator, the random sound. Ready? Go. 10.
10 is Ty from the Wayfinder Pod. Ty from
Mike
the Wayfinder
Laybourne,
Pod.
congratulations.
Good job, Ty.
Ty gets the mug.
Yeah.
You're gonna fill
Good
that
job,
with coffee.
We're gonna put a chapter of a book on it for you.
Okay, this is now for the T-shirt.
Ready for the
All right.
T-shirt?
Oh.
32.
Ooh, that's a good number.
These are that's both my numbers. for
32 is Tom from the Clonecast. Way to go, Tom.
Oh, all these podcasters are.
Yeah,
just
well, these are
coming
guys
in
we're going to
here.
have on our show, too. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to bring their gear when they come on our show.
That's right.
Congrats,
Yeah,
Tom.
wear it. I feel like the guys that wear their shirt to a concert.
Yeah,
Like
right.
the
That
band
guy.
shirt to a
Yeah,
concert. Yeah.
absolutely. I've seen you wear our shirt when you've recorded this show. Don't act like you're bigger than that.
That's the one we're giving away.
Game worn.
Yeah, game worn.
I signed it, and it's also got bacon grease on it from
And Cheetos.
He
Obviously,
signed it in
Cheetos.
Cheetos. Yeah.
Cheetos, yeah, and my mask.
All right, hey, show of hands. Who wants Mike Laybourne to win? Okay.
Kinda. Half so.
Okay.
I think it'd be funny if he didn't, but I also think he deserves it. He gives us a lot of content.
I feel like if he wins, he'll stop listening. It's like, well, I
He
can't
might.
win again.
Finally.
Right,
Got it.
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, we got to keep him here.
Well, let's hope for a win then.
Or,
All right,
or
so-
let's pretend someone else won and we'll tell him in a year.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. This is it for the hilt.
33.
Ooh. That's the one right after 32.
Genie.
Jeannie wins the woo. I think
The
she's
woo.
I think
The
she's
Maul
coming to Michigan, Grand Rapids soon. So I'll hand it to her. There you go.
Nice. Makes it easier.
Yeah.
Congrats, Genie, on winning the Maul hilt.
That's awesome. You know what?
She listens a lot too.
That
she
is
tweets
pretty
along a
shocking
lot.
that Mike Laybourne did not win, like any of it.
Once again, he gets shut out.
Most dedicated listener. Yeah, because he didn't win anything last
By
time
the
either.
gods, my prayers have been answered.
It was like when Jimmy Kimmel used to always say, "Sorry, Matt Damon, we couldn't get you on." So it's going to be the same thing with Mike. Sorry you didn't win, Mike. Better luck next time.
Little does he know I've been sabotaging his emails every week.
Mike, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'm going to send you the empty cans that we've got on the table.
Send him
Shoot
a
us your
kitty.
address.
Yeah, send him a kitty. Give him a kitty. You got enough kitties.
All of a
around there.
sudden, like he's like, I don't need to listen anymore. I cloned you. He's got his own podcast in his house.
It just got an extra U in it. From a certain point, it's
yeah, yeah.
Ew. Anyway.
2 A's for J. J.
All right, so that's it. We
Really
gave it away.
quickly, I was just going to say,
Yeah.
thank you to everybody who participated and did all the giveaway contest stuff. We will do another one, very likely with Book of Boba. We need to talk
That's
to our saber maker, Dave. But I think he did still have a saber, so that could come around
believe so.
again.
Yep.
There's other stuff that we might give away as well. And also, just a quick note to our listeners that we have Podtoberfest coming up later in October, which is like kind of a most of the day, all day event.
Yep.
That is more centered around your 7 Days of Geek show, but we do have a Star Wars hour, and maybe if the Twitter conversation was real, we might be giving away a Yoda Lego there.
Yes. And also, we'll talk about what we're going to do with
baby
FACPA.
Yoda.
There'll be some
Baby
FACPA
Yoda.
stuff that's going on during Podtoberfest as well. So yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
We'll
Shows-
pimp that more as we get closer, but just want to give everybody a heads up.
Yep. So keep listening and tell your friends if they're subscribed. If they're a Star Wars podcast listener and they're not listening to this show, come on, you had fun. We gave you an hour 18. So out of an hour 18, let's get 7 minutes in here.
There, at least.
Yeah.
Solid information.
All right. We'll see you guys next week when we come back, or 2 weeks. Whenever we come back, I think we're going weekly. So thank you for listening for now. And until next time,
Never tell us the odds.
In our experience, there's no such thing as luck.
we have spoken. Monkey poo.